Okay, here we go. In this video, we are going to continue practicing your dimension skills while we work in our drawing files. And I'm not going to go through all this, but you'll need to open up your template, save as into a new folder, give it the proper name. So 4.2.3 is the one we're working on now, and you're going to save that into your 4.2.3 folder that you already have made with this model in it. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Bring in your three standard views. Now these are going to be at a half scale, so when you bring it in, make sure that the scale is half, because 1:1 is going to be a little bit too big. And then when you fill in your title block information for scale, you could put 1:2, okay, which is your half scale. You can fill all that in. And then once you get all that done, you can go ahead and dimension. Now I'm not going to show you the dimensions for this one. The dimensioning on this one is going to be on your own. So I'm going to let you do that on your own, but there is going to be a new part, and it's going to be something called general notes. We're going to be pulling in some information on material, mass, and volume, as well as cost if we were to 3D print this thing. But before we could do that, so just stop right here and do a save for me. So save this file once you get all this done. And then let's go ahead and do the new part. And in order to do that, I need you to open up your original 4.2.3 part file, or the IPT. Now once we've opened it, we need to add a few settings, or adjust a few settings based on material. So up here you have two different drop-down menus. This first one is going to be the material that this part is made out of, and we're going to scroll all the way up to the top, and we're going to choose ABS plastic. Now the reason why I'm doing that is because that's what our 3D printers use. So that is going to help us do some calculations here down the road. So I changed that to ABS plastic, and then the color you could just leave as smooth white. Alright, so we adjusted the material and the color of that material. Now the next thing I need to do is apply those properties to this model so that it can help, so that it will actually calculate the mass and volume for me. So, and this is what you're typically going to do from now on at the end of creating a model. You'll set up the material and you'll set up the color. So anytime you finish a model from now on, go set the material, set the color, and then now we need to update the properties of it. So to do that, you're going to go to File, Options, and where are you? And I take that back. Close that window. I went to the wrong spot. It's File, iProperties. So you're going to go into the iProperties. So File, iProperties, and we're going to click on Physical. And all you have to do is hit Update. Now, if you notice, before I hit Update, the material's there, but the problem is that it says NA or not available for mass, area, volume, center of gravity, any of this. It's because I just made a change to the material after I had already made the object. So all you have to do is hit Update, and right away it calculates mass, area, and volume of this specific object based on this material, as well as the density of it. So I'm going to hit Close, and then now to update my file, I'm just going to simply hit Save. Okay, so then once I go back into my drawing, I'm going to hit Save on this again. I lost the color, so let me double click back on the edge of that and turn on the shading. Say okay, whoops, come on, there we go. Shade that again. Okay, so now I want to put in some general notes here. So I'm going to go to Annotate, and I'm going to draw some text. I'm going to left click once and let go. Cancel that. Let's try text again. I'm going to left click, hold, and drag. I said that incorrectly. Left click, hold, and drag. Now in all caps, I'm going to type in general notes. at the top, colon, hit enter, and then I'm going to write mass, colon, no, let's do material. Material first, colon, mass, colon, volume, colon, and then cost. Alright, and actually I'm going to get rid of that colon after general notes, and I'm going to underline general notes, kind of make that stand out as the title. And let's go to material. Now the thing that's cool about Inventor is you can pull information from the model right into here in the text box. So I'm going to click right there, and then I'm going to drop down this first window and go to model properties. And then I'm going to drop this one down, and I'm going to go to material right there. And I'm going to click right here after material, and then I'm going to click this button. Okay. So what it's going to do is it's going to drop in the material, that model, right in there. Now we're going to have to make our text box a little bit bigger once we get back out of here, but we'll do that in a second. And then let's go to mass. Now mass is under, I believe, physical properties of the model. So I'm going to change this, drop down to physical properties. Then I'm going to go into this one, and I'm going to go to mass. And then I'm going to click that little X again, and now it dropped in my mass right after that. Go to volume, space after that. Now this is also physical properties, so I'm going to go to volume and hit the little X and drop that in. Now I can't figure out cost yet because I can't see the volume, so we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's just hit OK. If I zoom in here, you'll see that it added material as ABS plastic, it added the mass information, and it added the volume information. So in order to determine cost, we have to take our volume and multiply it times the amount that we pay per cubic inch for our material for our 3D printer. Now that cost per cubic inch of material is around $2.76. So you need to take the 11 and multiply it times $2.76 to get your cost. So we got 11 times 2.76. So it would cost us $30.36 to 3D print this object if it were solid, if the density was solid. $30.36. So I'm going to type that in, $30.36. So again, to determine cost, you take your volume and you multiply it times $2.76. So I'm going to say OK. Hit escape to get out of that text tool. I'm going to click on this and kind of make this kind of fit that right there, and then I'm going to just move this down into the bottom corner to get it out of the way. Alright, so that was the new part. Again, quick review, I opened the old model, I changed the material, I left the color, and then I went to File, iProperties, and I updated the physical characteristics. I closed it and I saved it. You must save, otherwise it won't update here. And then I drew a text box, and then I typed that information in, and then I used the Inventor tools to add in the material, mass, and volume for me. And then I calculated the cost by taking the volume and multiplying it times $2.76. The only other thing I'm missing here is all my dimensions. So you need to add in those dimensions based on the guidelines that you've learned, and then you will print this, double check, proofread, and turn it in. And then you also screen clip it into your binder underneath the 4.2.3 drawing page.